Hello everybody, in this episode we're just going to update you on where we are with the project, why it's broken again, how we've run out of tyres because it does massive fourth gear drifts, and what we plan to do next. You might remember the last time we did a video with the car, we just got it MOT'd, and obviously that went well. So the first thing we did, as anybody else in that situation did, we took it out on the road, we turned it up to 11, and my friend Owen was with us. The car, I think he used words like brutal and frightening, and we found that at 14 psi the standard head gaskets are just fine. At 18 psi it blows itself in spectacular fashion and empties the radiator through the exhaust. So that was the end of that. So that's why we didn't make it to the Easter drift at Teesside, because the Sunday night before that we were playing too much. So that blew the head gaskets, but thank you very much to Owen. He had some ARP studs and Cometic 1mm gaskets in stock, and he lent it to us so we could replace them later. So we changed it over to Cometic gaskets. Now the only thing is those gaskets are meant for low compression pistons, and we put them into standard pistons. So we're actually running 10.5 to 1 compression at the moment with the Cometic gaskets. That's not so great as far as running high boost. People say you can't do it, but you know, that's the internet. So actually we've run 18 psi boost at 10.5 to 1 compression ratio, and the thing's just about hung together. It's an absolute beast, it's a monster. It must be putting out well over 700 horsepower at that sort of level, and we've been doing massive fourth gear drifts. Yeah, so myself and Leon, we did some careful mapping of the ignition with the NOx sensors and got the calibration and everything right on those and the threshold set, because running that high compression, high boost can be well dodgy. We got all that working fine. We got it mapped. We're running a lot more ignition off boost as well, down to the standard 1UZ settings, so the car is making big power. It's brutal, and we went to the next drift day at Teesside, which was the start of May. We got some good footage from that, but unfortunately the first lap around, third gear went AWOL. It appears to be a common problem with 350Z gearboxes, as we've found out. And what it does is that the synchro ring and the gear are brazed together as standard, and above about 600 horsepower that braze joint can't take it, and it breaks the joint. So we are on now fixing that. That'll be another video on how we go about doing that. So we thought, oh, we've got no third gear, and second gear's pants. So we thought, well, let's just use fourth instead and turn the engine right up. So here's some footage for the next drift day, and we went big. And we went through a lot of tyres, and amazingly the car took it, and it just ran great. So fourth gear drifts, no problem. well, we didn't do many upgrades to the car. We did the brakes for the next one. That was the only thing that we did. There's a separate video on that you'll have seen. And we got a gearbox that we were going to use for a different project, but we thought we'll swap it over and put it into this because allegedly it was a good gearbox. And as we found out, all 350Z gearboxes that are for sale are knackered. So again, I think it was the second lap out or something like that. Third gear, bang, there we go, broken third gear again. So at the moment we've got no third gear in this gearbox either. So what do? Yeah, we just ran it in fourth gear again for the rest of the day. And because we'd mapped everything and we'd put more ignition timing in, it was making even more power at the last Teesside day. So we went out and we ran the thing hard the whole day. So no third gear, so we just set it off from the line in second, block shift over to fourth, leave it there and clutch kick it. The poor old clutch got a lot of pain along with the rest of the car, but geez, we did some good drifts. We were well happy with that. There's more footage, as you can see here. Thank you very much to everybody that did that. There should be some credits at the bottom. We had great fun, but unfortunately the clutch went towards the end of the day. When I say went, it's actually the master cylinder. The seals have swollen up in it, and it means that the piston stuck down, so the clutch wasn't operating. But it was 4:30 by then. It was a good time to call it a day. So that's where we are. We hope you've enjoyed that footage, and thank you very much to everybody that took the pictures and took the videos for us. And we will be back next time. Next videos, fixing a 350Z gearbox properly, and that includes new synchros and an electron beam welded third gear that we've made. And we also need to fix the engine, because I have a funny feeling this has got a death rattle. So we are going to build a low compression engine. We're going to machine the pistons, we're going to put thick head gaskets in, we're going to put ARP studs, we're going to put race big ends and main bearings, because clearly the standard ones won't take it. And we're going to try and run it at 30 psi. That should be 1,000 horsepower. Bring it on.